Welcome back, boys. Today we have a interesting one today. It's from Franck Zanu. And it says here, no black country will ever develop. Sounds very interesting. I wanted to check this one out.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode with Franck Zanu, the host of ZPR, Zanu Project Rethink. Yes, we do get people to rethink their conclusions and answers. Today I'm in the studio with some wonderful group of people. They make me miss home so bad. I have in the studio today students from the University of Bridgeport. They're not just students from international African students at the University of Bridgeport. Now, Bridgeport University happened to be my alma mater, and I won't tell them the class I graduated. It makes me really. And the reason I'm excited is because they are Gen Z. And each time I have a Gen Z in the studio, the conversation is always very interesting because their perspective is different, mine is different, and we're trying to bridge the gap. We will get straight to it right now. We have here Theo Akufo-Perry, Business Administration, of course. So by that name, you're from Ghana.
I am, yeah.
Woo! That's also my home. And then we have with us Benita Inwanlozi, who is in nursing.
Yeah, Walozie, my last name.
Oh, Walozie.
Yep.
So Unwa would mean the child of.
Walozie is like child of God.
So what is Lozier?
Lozie is Lozie is more like God's own.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's different a little bit from Chinyedu and
Yes,
wow, man, you got all right. And you are from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
So we
yes.
have a Ghanaian. Oh, and who has the best jollof?
Oh, we can't talk about that now. That's another
All right.
debate.
She knows the truth.
That's correct. And now what is interesting is that the students are also members of the African Students Association at the University of Bridgeport, an organization that I was a co-founder back in the 90s, and they've kept it alive. They get some really very interesting events happen on campus. One is coming up soon. Is it 13th of March or 17th?
I believe it's the 14th.
14th of March.
14th of March.
Yes.
And what is it going to be?
Well, there's a Royal Fox wedding. So this one is like just bringing Nigerian and Ghanaian culture.
In terms of wedding?
Yes, in terms of a wedding.
Okay.
So
Just to showcase what weddings look like back there.
So a lot of dollars is going to be rained on the bride and stuff like that, as we see in the videos.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually very colorful. So if you are in town, if you are within the Fairfield County, March 14. March 14, the campus of the University of Bridgeport, please come and support. If you are an alumni living in, please, I'll be there, and we want to make it look really good. So thank you guys for keeping ASA still burning on campus. And today you are in the studio not to talk about ASA, right? So I sent you guys a note when I came to visit, and I said to you that, of course, one of the things that is burning right now is every African country is looking to become developed, right? Because we are the only continent that is labeled as underdeveloped countries, and we've accepted it, and we know why, and we've been trying. Whether you're a Ghanaian or Nigerian, also we're all trying, right? And then I said, well, the effort is useless because no black country would ever develop. Let me explain what I mean by black countries, meaning the 54 that is on the continent, the 13 black countries in the Caribbean, the black communities in the United States, in UK, or wherever you are never, ever going to
Develop. Can you also explain what you mean by develop, like in terms of economics or technology or?
A very good question. I was going to throw that to you because all I keep hearing when you turn on to Facebook or Instagram and it's Ghanaians or Nigerians or Sierra Leone's, our country must develop. Tinubu is a bad man today because he is not moving Nigeria to where it must go. From the 60s, all you've been talking about is we accepted the label in the 70s as underdeveloped countries. We did. There's no debate about that. We use it in our IMF applications. We are third world underdeveloped countries. So that's what I mean. So you have to tell me what you mean when you said I'm crazy by saying you won't develop. It means you understood what I meant.
Yes. I feel like the African countries, well, for me, I just went home to Ghana. I haven't been home in a while, so seeing the country now versus like the 3 years ago when I was there, I see a lot of differences. I see evolution. I just saw like this morning, I know this is kind of off topic, but I saw like Burkina Faso, they just created their first electric car, like their first local, completely original electric vehicle in that country. That would seem so like far-fetched, like 5-10 years ago from an African country. So I do think that development is possible in African countries, even though it might be not even way slow. Well, it has been considerably slower than.
Before I jump ahead of you, can you name the company in Burkina Faso, a car company that was established, opened by a Burkinabe, a citizen? What is the name, and which cars did this car company make first before this electric car?
I can't.
You can't. Where did you see it?
I saw it on Instagram today, actually.
I'm really disappointed. You are in college, and social media is not a place for fact-fetched news or stories. Burkina Faso has not manufactured, designed, and rolled out an electric car.
They haven't rolled it out yet, but
where is it?
They just designed and...
Designed? I thought you said people are test driving the car on the streets of Burkina.
I did not say that.
Oh, so where is it?
It hasn't been out yet.
No, where is it?
Etoya.
Who designed it?
Well,
you don't know. Which company?
Etoya.
What?
ITAOAI.
And it's owned by who?
I might have spelled that wrong.
It's owned by who?
Owned.
You don't know. It could be a foreign company that came to Burkina Faso and designed a car and said, we could manufacture from this place. That is not something you...
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that my immediate thought was it's probably some foreign company, some foreign people developing some kind of technology using the resources. Like, my immediate thought was not the natives created this thing, but I wish that was true, you know?
Say it's for a developed country. That's not development.
But you also, I mean, it's a sign.
We don't know. We cannot use that as an example of what you're talking. I haven't seen it. I need to see it and say that they've do you know how long it took Tesla to roll out one car, even the design to be complete and be a prototype? So no, it's not true.
But you can't just say it's not true just because.
Because you don't know the name of the company. You don't know the factory.
I just told you the name of the company.
Because it was written on the Instagram.
Yeah. Give you that.
Well, in my perspective, like, I do feel like, well, where I'm from, like, we struggle with a lot of economic struggles, like, we face due to, like, leadership and things like that. But I just feel like we do have the capability of being developed, because I see, like, because being transitioned from like Nigeria to like here, I've seen like the difference in like motivation and people wanting to see change in Nigeria rather than compared to here. People just like, you know, they get what they want, everything's easy to them. But like in Nigeria, like even though like we struggle with many like factors with economic, we do see like there is going to be a change. It is going to be like sooner or later will be development in that country. I just feel like we, like us Nigerians, we have motivation to like have that and like do that change.
Yeah.
So I do like my perspective. I do see that there is going to be a change in Nigeria.
Sure. Every 4 years there is a change in Nigeria. There's a change in every country. So let's back up a little bit. Maybe we are ahead of ourselves. What is it in Nigeria? What is not there that makes you say that it's not developed?
What is not there?
Yes.
I mean, some people may say like the infrastructure.
You have to say, you speak, yes. Ghana, what is not there that makes you say Ghana is not developed? What is it? You?
Well, for my country, I'll say like what is not there is just like there's lack of leadership. Like in my country.
So that lack of leadership, what has it not provided Nigeria that makes you, and I know, I've lived there, that it's not a developed country? Yes, it's not. What is it that is not there?
Well, from what I see and like what like family tell me, like in terms of leadership, it's just like there's no structure. There's no structure.
Explain structure.
Like basically like there's a lot of like inflation going on right now in Nigeria.
Inflation has gone on here in America, yes.
But it's
but
like,
do you have everything and inflation happen to you? You can be a healthy man and catch fever. That's how inflation works. So do you have everything that makes a country develop, but you have inflation?
Well, okay, so yes, even though there's inflation, like in Nigeria, like we have the resource. I do believe we have
You
resources.
have resources. I'm talking about it's a developed country. No, it's not. So I'm asking, what is it that is not there that makes it underdeveloped?
Well, leadership. But
Leadership
I'm just
is not
saying,
part of
like,
development.
lack
You can
of
have
leadership.
a bad president. We just had one, but the country was still sailing smoothly.
But the thing is, even if they did have like the right people or the resources, like she's saying, it's the people in the country not wanting to like do what they have to.
They don't want to.
Yes.
And why don't they want to?
Because they're selfish and want to.
And why are they selfish? Who takes his own home and watch it deteriorate because you're selfish? You wouldn't do that. That is your country. Everybody, like she said, has a zeal, want to do something. So let me take you now on a different road, but it's the same path. When, you two, when did you discover that Ghana, Nigeria, was not developed? And how did you come to that realization? There was something about health, and you are in nursing. When you go to the doctor, there's something interesting they always ask you. Hey, doc, I'm having a toothache. They ask you, when did it start, right? Because it helps the doctor to know how to. So if you say, oh, just 2 weeks ago, it would be a different approach he would use. How about if you told him, I was born with it? There would be a different approach. So you know you're not well because yesterday, day before, you were healthy, you had appetite. You woke up this morning, and you don't have appetite, you're not feeling well. So you tell the doctor, I am not well, because you knew. So when did you discover that Nigeria or Ghana was not developed?
When did we discover?
Yes, how did you know? When? The when is important.
It would be when I came here for school, when I discovered myself rather than being told in school. Because I was told in school when I was in Ghana that, you know, we're a third world country, we're underdeveloped compared to the other, you know.
So when did you know that your country was not developed?
Coming here, I would say.
How about you?
I would say same with me because I was raised in Nigeria and I didn't see anything wrong. I guess I was like young, but like I wasn't like, I didn't see myself struggling.
That's correct.
So then when I came here, it's like I saw like a huge difference like with regards to like health and things and school education and things like that.
Very good. All right, now let's dive into what is the real meat of this discussion. What do Nigerians have in common with white Americans, the WASP who founded this country? Except both of them being human beings. What do they have in common?
I mean, they're people that have innovation.
No. What do they have in common with Nigerians?
Physically?
Yes. Besides being human beings, the environment, culture, history, what do they have in common with Nigerians or Ghanaians? Or let's start using the word Africans. What do they have in common? Nothing.
Can't think of it.
So you see what you have done. So if there was no country on earth, but Africa is the only continent on earth, would you still call it a third world country?
No.
No. Then Nigeria would not be underdeveloped. Am I not right? So the day the mother deer or the mother antelope took its babies out, that was the first time they saw the tiger or the lion and saw its behavior. It can run a mile in 9 seconds, grab other animals and tear them into pieces. And the mother deer said, wow, that is a superior animal. What does that mean to the baby deer? Will you ever do that?
No.
So the baby deer is inferior for the rest of its life? That's what you've done with your countries. You're comparing your country, and the day you knew your country was not developed is because you look at another country where the people who live it, who build it, have nothing in common with you.
No, I hear what he's saying. Essentially, what he's saying is like, you haven't even begun to like develop, and you haven't even laid the first brick, and you're looking at a finished like super castle with like cannons and like lasers. Like you're looking at a monstrosity, finished and beautiful, and you haven't even placed the first brick on your castle. That's essentially what he's talking about, and I hear him completely. I think like before you can start putting down solar panels and sending up spaceships, you need to have a good, I don't know, like I'm not even good at this stuff, like a good supply chain with like food, water, get like wells. You know, you need to start at like the fundamental basic stuff and extrapolate from that. So, you know, I think a lot of these people that go to school, for example, from African countries to Western countries, they, you know, they kind of jump the gun when it comes to development back home. You know, it took how many years to develop these Western countries, how much blood, sweat, and tears, you know. So yeah, I think this man is you know, he knows what he's talking about.
When I say that no black country would ever develop, I meant the basic things that is required, the 4-pillar foundation that you find in every developed country. But there is no developed country. There are only 2 types of countries on earth: industrialized countries and non-industrialized countries. So if I tell you, Ghanaian Africans, your people are underdeveloped, Ghanaians are underdeveloped, would you accept it?
No.
How about you?
No.
Then how can a place, there's no place, you can't have a country without people. So how did you call the country itself underdeveloped, yet claim that the people who live in it are developed?
It's because of the infrastructure.
No, but what I'm saying is, if the people were developed, shouldn't they build what they're supposed to build?
But it's the resources as well, the lack of resources.
What resources do you lack? There are only 4 resources. I'll come to it and tell you, you have plenty of it than anybody else on earth.
True.
So you see, the comparison is when you began to know that your country. But the
Yeah, like I said it before, but I kind of said it without even remembering the facts. But I said it before. It's like, isn't Africa one of the richest like places really? You know, I said that, and some people commented like, yeah, I get it. I was a little ignorant. That's one of the reasons I wanted to watch this video. You know, people trashed on me, saying that all Africans are dumb and everything, but it's like he's saying like they don't have the infrastructure. Like, I've never been to Africa. It's probably really difficult if you live in like super like rural place. You know, I can't even imagine. And yeah, they need a proper infrastructure, but to do that, they need to fix all the corruption in so many of these African countries, all these like insane stuff I'm hearing about. Yeah.
4 pillars of the 4-pillar foundation required in any developed industrialized country, no black country has it. Those are, do you know what is WASP? W-A-S-P, white, the race, Anglo-Saxon, the ethnicity, Protestants, the religion, and their history. Right?
So is it when they came to colonize our continent and then
No.
left?
I'm saying that is a 4-pillar foundation. Japanese, the language, the ethnicity, they're Japanese, the history, they are Meiji.
And then their religion.
Their religion. Germans, Lutherans. The English are Anglicans. They are WASP. They are formerly a Germanic tribe that occupy what we call now the UK or the English land, England. Okay? China, you see it, even though you have pockets of different tribes, they all speak Mandarin, they are all from the Ming Dynasty, they all share the same religion and the same history. Let me ask you, who is a Nigerian?
I would say someone who's born there, or someone like who's like, well, parents are from there or raised
So
there.
what is Nigerian culture?
It varies because in
Okay,
Nigeria,
so the answer is there's no such thing. What do Nigerians speak?
multiple languages.
There's no such thing. What is the value, sense of value of Nigeria as a culture? There's no such thing. What is the history of Nigeria? There is no such thing unless you start from 1960 when we gained independence. Yet the Igbos have been around that place more than 900 years. The Benin Kingdom have been around that place close to 1,000 years. The Yoruba Empire has been around close to 1,000 years. But when you say what is a Nigerian culture, Nigerian history, you can only start from 1960.
So are you saying like is the people's fault that we're not like developing even like back then? Like is it?
No, we haven't even come to the point of whether you are
Okay.
developing or not developing. I'm just simply saying the 4-pillar foundation that is required for people to say this is ours.
Wait, like this is kind of like, bro, I'm so goddamn ignorant with this. But when he says like people speak multiple languages and all of this. Like, is he alluding to like the country's too diverse? Like, is this like going to be like a thing against diversity? Like, is he preaching for unity? Like, people need to come together. You know, this is kind of what I've been preaching: is people need to come together under this shared idea of a nation and religion and culture and all of this here in Europe, because we're losing grip on that, and we're losing the stage. Like, globally, we're actually just decapitating our legs. Like, we're done, bro. So yeah, does Africa have this problem as well? Because again, I have no idea. But if Africa is so diverse with all these different, I guess, tribes and people and languages, like, is this the thing that is halting their development? Like, yeah, what he said, development, like industrialization and all that. Interesting.
And this is the dream. Since you were born, have you seen a blueprint by your ancestors that says this is where Ghana is going? And by the year 2040, Ghana will be this. Have you seen it?
Not exactly, but like they have their plans.
Who is they?
Well, I see it in the news on the government.
News, but I'm saying, what is Ghanaian blueprint? Have you seen the Constitution of America? It says clearly what they are going to be. How about Nigeria? No.
No.
Exactly. So you don't have a blueprint, like trying to build a house with no architectural plan. Two, you don't have the 4-pillar foundation required. Let me ask you, the 63 black countries in the world, do you know any black country where the people who live in it founded it? By founding, I mean a group of people, like the Yoruba kingdom, moving around and came upon a land that is fertile, has what they want, and they settled there. Even if they have to kill the indigenous and steal their women, they did, and they made it into a republic. Is there such a thing on earth? A place, a country, where the blacks who live in it were the ones who founded it? The Caribbean, the 13 black countries, Africa has 54 of them, put together, the largest race on earth by number of countries. Which black country do you know where the people who live in it founded it?
I just know one that was...
Who founded Ghana? Which Ghanaian founded Ghana?
Kwame Nkrumah.
No. British founded Ghana and gave it to him when he was complaining too much he needs independence.
But that was
Who founded Nigeria?
Ghana, though.
Which?
I actually do not know.
That's correct, because no Nigerian founded Nigeria. The Benin Kingdom founded Benin Kingdom. Oduduwa founded the Yoruba. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Nigeria.
But I see what you're saying. Okay, what about like Ethiopia, a country that was never colonized?
Sierra Leone was never colonized.
Sierra Leone?
Yes, they just pulled back slaves there. So what? It doesn't mean anything. Still, their country was carved by the Europeans. So how do you expect that a people can build something they did not design? I'm trying to lead you slowly. Your conclusion, not mine, but all the people who are going to listen, because you guys are going to become members of parliament in the future. You are going to be the leaders of this continent. If you want to go back, you need to have something in your mind to say, this is what is wrong and I want to change it. Otherwise, we are all going to be swimming in the dark for the rest of our lives. No black country on earth will become industrialized. Impossible. You said resources. People keep complaining and telling you that the reason African countries can develop is because the white people stole the resources. It's a lie. There are 4 resources.
Man, I'm learning a lot from this, bro. Because this is a topic like I'm very, very ignorant about. I've mainly focused on the West, America, Europe, and you know, I had so many problems. I saw all the problems growing up here, and everybody having a miserable existence here with these Western problems. I kind of, you know, I skipped my history lessons on Africa and China and Asia, all of that. There's so much to learn because everything is interconnected somehow, somewhere. It's just connections I cannot see yet. So it's very interesting to learn about things. So, you know, they're not going to industrialize because they're, you know, I'll let him speak.
Resources nobody can steal. Water is one of them. Did you see tanks from Britain taking all your water away? No. Fela sang a song in 1981. Water house, food house. Hey, Palipao, waiting to them, right? Yeah. 1981. Do you know how many years ago? He was complaining about there is water overground. The Niger River goes through Nigeria. No Nigerian can get a cup of water, pure one, from his pipe in his own room. You have tanks on every building. That's one. They didn't take it away. The second one is land. The colonials didn't take it away. You have vegetative land in Nigeria. If Japan own it, they will feed half of the world with food export. The third one, solar energy. 365 days, we don't get winter, we don't get spring, we don't get autumn. It's there. Have you harvested it? You go build an electric car. When you can't even give people electricity in their homes in Burkina Faso, what are you going to use to charge? You understand? So solar, that's the third one. So the fourth one is, of course, manpower resources, okay? From the intellect into physical. They didn't take it away. So all four things that help other countries to build themselves, you have it. You have it more than anybody. The Congo alone, the Congo has water reserve enough to feed the whole of Central Africa for the next 250 years and not even have a drop. The kids in Congo can't even take a clean shower because of lack of water. Turkana is the northern part of Kenya. It took some foreign guys from Denmark to tap into the aquifer to know that Turkana has over 200 trillion, I don't know even the number, how they measure water liters in Kenya. But the people of Turkana, every year, their cattle and humans who die. You can see it. And we will be sending them in Pesa. And foreigners will rush there to save. They can't tap the water to feed themselves.
So what do you think the internal issue is? Are you asking us to come to that conclusion?
You are the one who said I'm crazy by saying you can't develop. Now we have seen clearly that nothing has been taken away. You have everything. So when we are not blaming the colonials for stealing resources, which is a boogeyman we use just to explain us.
Yeah, an important thing to these countries, I guess, is to have like talents from Africa sent to Western countries, yet educated, and they should 100% go back to Africa where they came from and help their nation build up. But there's also that corruption aspect I hear about, of like corrupt like leaders and all that, kind of like tricking out their countries, their people, for financial gain, for for hedonism and all that, for decadence, not decadence, but they just like gain wealth by exploiting their country.
If we are the only ones who were colonized. If stealing of resources is the reason for colonization, Benin will not be colonized. We have nothing but coconut trees on the beach. Gambia wouldn't be colonized. Fiji Island wouldn't be colonized. Many places, Gambia wouldn't be colonized. It's not for stealing resources. It's too expensive and it's too cumbersome. Colonials said they don't steal resources, and they didn't. Everything you discovered now was discovered after colonization. But we use it as a boogeyman. And when we're not talking about resources, the countries that don't have resources, they say, oh, it's our leaders, they are corrupt. It's not true. Those leaders you have that you keep saying, where did you employ them from? China? They are from among you, right?
Yeah.
So every 4 years, randomly, you pick one of you, but you expect that person to know different from what you know?
Not different, but they should be willing to...
Damn. So they don't have corrupt leaders? Good thing I said I was ignorant. Like, I'm just telling what I've heard. But you know, this is like old knowledge. Like, this is not something I read on X like a week ago. Like, this is something I learned years ago, that there was a lot of corruption in a lot of African countries. But maybe, yeah, I mean, if he says it's BS and whatever, you know, I trust this guy.
Willing? What do you mean willing? Willing happens if you know what you do.
I feel like they should, like picking like presidency, especially like in Nigeria, like they should see the things that us, like, you know, people struggle with in society. So we expect them to, like, okay, like, this is what we're struggling with. This
They
is
see
what.
it.
What?
It is your fault. How do you know that he has what it takes to fix it?
No, I'm not saying that he has what it takes. I'm saying that, like, people expect, like, I think, like, in Nigeria, because, like, people, like, are trying to vote for, like, presidency and things like that. And we all expect for the president to, like, see what is going on in the society and say, okay, like, we hope for you to, like, make this change. And, like, you know, they'll put, like, their stuff out there saying, oh, I will address this, I will address this. And then when they come into presidency, it's, like, the exact opposite of, like...
Yes, because you corrupted them.
Who corrupted them?
The masses. No African leader is corrupt.
That just makes, you're gonna have to elaborate on that.
They
Yeah,
are corrupted.
So how
by
we
the people?
corrupt, like, the people corrupted the like what do you mean by corrupted? Like, who
So
corrupted
when
who?
computers started, right? When we had computers in high towers, you know that computer has a program in it. And so you have to only introduce what it can use the program to understand, right? So when people use malware to introduce your hard drive, what do you say happened to your hard drive? My hard drive is corrupted, which means you gave it something to do that is not part of what he knows how to do. Colonials left behind a political system, and you hang on to it, and then you're picking one of you to use it to do something. You said that's what you wanted. You said every
Wait. Are they expecting one institution to do everything? Like they don't have the other institutions necessary to have, like, a functioning society, or like a country. You know, you're supposed to have, like, these institutions that help out, that have their own place in society, doing having a function. But, you know, they put too much trust in one person, fix everything. Like, that's not gonna work if they don't have the other institutions. But you know, I'm not. You know, man, I could never run a country, man. It's too much to think about.
4 years, you want to go out there and pick one of you to lead you. So somebody said, okay, pick me. Look at my suit, it's nice, and I speak your language. And you picked him. You've introduced a tax to this man or woman who you don't know if he knows he doesn't own a country. We just proving to you there is no country. But you're asking him to lead something that is not there. If you give your Lamborghini to your 7-year-old, you've corrupted his skills. He runs into people or he runs into a tree. The people you've been picking since independence don't know how to do what you're asking them to do. So you corrupt their skills.
So we've, like, you're saying us Nigerians have corrupted, like, the presidents or something like that?
Yes.
That's happened.
You are just a corrupt in waiting. They make any of you MP right now, you'll be corrupt.
So
because what they're asking you to work on is not natural to you. It's foreign. The villages where you come from, do you use ballot to pick the chief? They know you from age 12 by who you are, what you can do. And that's how we picked our leaders in Africa for hundreds of years.
Okay, so are you saying that if we implemented like a system like, so in Ghana, in my culture, the way like picking a chief works is there are 5 royal families and then it rotates each family every time. Are you saying that if that happened with like our government?
How can it happen with your government?
Well,
you don't have Ghana.
possible.
You don't have a country called Ghana or Ghanaians. So whom are you picking?
That just makes no sense.
So is the political system the issue? Like,
I don't know. I'm giving you
No,
things for
like-
you to make your own conclusion.
There's no Ghana.
There's no Ghana, there's no Nigeria. Who is a Nigerian? You are a Nigerian only when you leave the country and you are abroad. You said, I'm from Nigeria. But when you ask a Chinese, they don't say, I'm from China. They say, I'm Chinese. Japanese will say, I'm Japanese. Ask Africans, they always say, I'm from. It means you're talking about a physical location that was created by some foreigner, and a bunch of you who have nothing in common lives there. But in Nigeria, there's nobody says I'm Nigerian.
I mean, yeah, this is what he said before. Like, I guess they're not unified. They don't have unity. And this is the problem here in the West as well. All this like diversity garbage going around. It's like strength in diversity. It's like, no. Like, no. That's not how it works, unfortunately. you know, people who look the same, speak the same language, blah blah blah, they're gonna cooperate way better because there's not gonna be any friction between communication and understanding. Like you celebrate the same Christmas, um, like you celebrate the same holidays, you eat the same Christmas food, you have the exact same upbringing almost, and that creates bonds between people. But I guess in Africa, if everybody's so different all the time, and people believe in different things and speak different languages, as he said, yeah, I mean, why should they care? You know, they're not that place's people. You know, they just live there. That makes sense why they don't develop as he said. That's crazy. No, you learn something every day, I guess.
Nigeria. You see, I'm Igbo. I'm
You don't
Yoruba.
have the WASP unity that you referred to earlier.
Pardon me?
Just because we don't have the WASP, like,
Of course you don't have it.
yeah. So we're not we're just not Ghanaian. We're just like you're Akan, you're Gan.
That's correct. Do you know, and it's a metaphor. I love it. I read it. Do you know the Tower of Babel in the Bible? Mm-hmm. What was the main thing that stopped the tower from being built?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Jesus.
I don't remember.
Do you know the Tower of
I don't
Babel?
remember.
Yes.
I know the story, but
Then tell the story.
I just know like a group of people were building the Tower of Babel, and then they kept on going. As they're building it, I believe like they came across like I forgot. They came across like a fire or something like that, and like I think a fire like stopped on one of them, each of one of them, and they started speaking different languages.
So a group of people with one language, one culture, was building a tower successfully. For some sick reason, God looked down and changed their languages, and they started speaking different languages, and the tower stopped.
So that's what they did to us, or we did that to ourselves.
I don't know. I'm just describing things. You have to make the conclusions. What does a tower represent?
Development.
That's correct. Every time they say something is developed, you do this, right? So it's a metaphor. A tower represents development, growth. But it's only possible, I said it to you from the beginning, you gotta have language. One. Do you know how America struggled to make sure Spanish is not even a second language here? Because they know what it can cause. You don't have that. You don't have a national culture. You don't have a national history. You don't have a national identity. So where is patriotism and nationalism?
But
Yeah, you know, thinking back, I mean, we did not, here in Norway, we did not learn much about Africa or any African country from what I remember. You know, from first grade to 12th grade or whatever, I can't really remember any kind of history class or anything we learned. You know, we never learned anything specific about any African country. You know, mainly all history was about the Holocaust and World War II. That was for 12 years. That is the only thing we were taught. We never looked into Rome or anything like that, Athens. We never learned any of that. No, it was just about World War II. That's like that's when history started, basically, in school. So, you know, but yeah, there was never like an idea of I hear what he's talking about. There is no interesting. I didn't notice.
you're making it seem, well, I'm understanding it in the way that you're explaining it, that it's not exactly a bad thing, but like it's the division in the countries is what the problem is, why we can't develop. But that's what makes, I think that's what makes our African pride, like having so much diversity, but like in that one place, even though that doesn't make us develop to your, well, not to your standard, but like...
What have you benefited from that diversity?
I mean, I can say I come here and know who I am. And
But
where
that's
I'm from.
because you are a tree,
Yeah.
not because you're Ghanaian. See, when I said your name, I could say it from anywhere and I said you are a tree. I wouldn't say you are Ghana. And that tree forms you.
Okay, so what about the individual tribes in those little countries? Do you think it's possible for those countries to develop? Like those little tribes, like...
No, but because you've made them to let go what is called in the development of a country, self-determination. That is a goal, self-determination. You've let them go. They can't. They can't. You're now saying you are Ghanaian, yet there is nothing. You can't raise a child in Ghana as a Ghanaian. You can raise a child as a Twi kid with the values you have, your culture, your dance, your history, your traditions. You don't wake up in Ghana and say, I'm Ghanaian. You wake up as a Twi. When you look around, your inspiration, your determinations is forced by your culture. But now you don't have it. They don't teach it. You don't have it anymore. Ghanaian, you are not. Twi, you're not either. I'm not kidding. I want you to look at what I'm saying carefully.
I think...
If there is no country on earth, black country, that was formed by the people who live in it. Every one of you are living in a guest house. You've seen people living in a guest house find the way to develop the main house better than the owner? Never. Why do we have the Oduduwa history? Because they were one people, one religion, one history, one ethnicity. You couldn't break in. That's why we have the tribal marks, to differentiate them so they can see each other and dream dreams. Why do we have the Benin Kingdom? Why do we have the Agbome Kingdom in Benin Republic? And the Ashanti Kingdom? Who fought the British? The Ashantis, because they were the most predominant in the area at the time. They were able to have an administration, form a palace with rulership, land division, everything. Where is it? They made you become, so it's not divide to conquer, it's unite to conquer. So what the colonial took away from you is not what you started fighting for after 1960. What they took away from you is that identity for self-determination. But all the idiots who got independence, Kwame Nkrumah included, and all of them, the first thing they started working on is economic development, because they saw the people who colonized them. We want to be like them. And we've been lost since then. You said you went to Ghana and you see change. Change happens everywhere.
Ah, okay. So let me get this straight. They started running before they could walk, essentially. These like African countries, like, saw the wealth, they wanted it, but they didn't. They had to build other things. They had to focus on unity, on structure, you know, maybe a shared religion, a shared culture, all of that, instead of trying to make money, you know, developing materially. They needed to develop socially, you know, unity, cooperation, all of that.
Change is not
That's
a
just what I
goal.
was
So
understanding
let me
as
ask you,
development.
name one thing in YouTube, one thing in Nigeria or in Ghana that was originally built by a Ghanaian in the realm of infrastructure that you guys are coming to work on. What is it?
Can't say nothing.
You can't say about you. 130 million people. Every day you are knowing the rest of us saying we are the giant of Africa. Yeah, cool. You can't manage a gas station, but yes, what is it you know, and I'm not kidding, that a Nigerian originally innovated, invented, built it, and now people are trying to build on it? What is it? Original. Using the 4 natural resources I just described. Look, I'm from Benin. I'm black as it comes. You know, Nancy and I used to go to Benin when I had my Heroes program. That's how proud I am from where. But that doesn't mean I'm blind to what I'm talking about. And Benin is only 3.5 million people with 49 different languages. They can't manage a public toilet.
I don't want to laugh.
But I would say, like, I agree with what you're saying. Like, I do feel like, because, like, in some, like, people are aware, I feel like people are aware of, like, the resources that, like, we have already.
Thing is, this is like a very, like, I really like this topic. Like, I want to get more educated on it, because this is a great example of why diversity doesn't fucking work. And I'm sick and tired of these Westerners that have never had a single point of friction in their lives ever push for the suicide of diversity, because what happens is social trust goes out the window. You know, people start being more aggressive towards each other. You know, you no longer feel safe. You know, have a bunch of people that don't even speak your language, don't look at you, don't look like you around, and it's like you're supposed to have kids here, you're supposed to feel safe here. Nobody with like common sense like sees that and they're like, yeah, like this is a good idea. Like that's just not a good idea. And how many languages did he say? 49 or something? 48? That's crazy with a population of, what was it, 3.5 or something mil? No wonder people can't just agree on something and build it. Like you need translator for what, 48 languages, 49 languages. It's like, how do you bring people together if you share nothing together? Like that just doesn't make sense. That's why I hear this. Beautiful.
That's in Nigeria
I'm learning a lot.
already, that's like building on it, and then some people are like more focused on like back then trying to build up from like economic development and things like that.
From what?
But I just,
what original economic system do you have in Nigeria?
I'm talking about like the past. Like people are like colonization back in the past. People are trying to like you said, like people are trying to use that and like build that up. But I do feel like there are certain individuals or like people in Nigeria that are aware of like the resources that like are around us that we already have. Like for example, like people are like building like oil company or like water company and things like that, and I feel like not everybody is aware that we do have natural resources ourselves that
They
we
are
can build.
aware.
Yeah, I feel like not everybody knows. 'Cause I feel
What do
like
you mean, you don't see the water?
no, I'm saying that people are like don't have that like knowledge or
But why would they have knowledge about something they don't have the capability to use? Why should I care myself about uranium when I don't know what to do with it?
But I feel like people are like they're not I'm gonna say this, but like people, they're not like, they see it, of course, yeah, they see it, but I feel like they're not like able to say, okay, like let me learn what I can build from this.
And learn from where?
Like probably from I'll say from history, like from our
How
history.
do you learn how to build infrastructure from history?
Like people can like
building infrastructure is a capability. I'm talking about capability. Here, let me use the word so you can argue it. You sit around it, but you can't build it. Why? You don't have the capability. You don't. That's why you haven't done it in any black country, even though all the resources that everyone else have used. Listen, in 1945, thereabout, Japan was leveled with 2 atomic bombs. No other human country has ever suffered that completely. In 1945, Japan hasn't invented one thing. Yeah, they have airplanes they used to, but do you know what 1945? Your dad may be still alive, was born in the, yes. Do you see the country right now?
Yeah.
They are surrounded by salty ocean. They don't even have land. 73% of Japan, 126 million, is all taken by mountains. It's capability. Capability.
Are you saying that we're lacking that capability because we don't have that self-determination?
No, not at all. It's natural.
It's natural?
it's a natural. So
Yeah.
Like we're naturally lacking that capability?
Yes.
So you don't think we can build or like have like eventually like have that capability to like say, okay, let me start knowing what
Capabilities don't come eventually.
No,
they are
like-
either in you.
No, like, bro, I hear completely what he's saying. If the country is so goddamn divided that you have, what, 50 different languages, 60 different languages, and everybody has their own little culture, a little, I guess, clan or whatever village they learn from. Of course, they're not going to cooperate with a different village and a different people to build a well or a bridge or something, whatever they need to build there. I don't know.
From the beginning or they're not.
So if, okay.
Can a fish climb?
No,
they are
like-
either in you from the beginning or they're not.
So if, okay.
Can a fish climb? No. So if that is what is required of the fish, it doesn't have that capability.
There's evolution.
No, I don't care. I won't be around for evolution. I'm talking about now. If that is what is required of the fish, the fruits are on the tree, right? Golden fruit. If the fish can reach it, the fish will become very rich. Plug it and sell it. Can the fish plug it? So the golden fruits will be there, and the fish will be here and be hungry. So your resources are there, but you're hungry because you don't have the capability. And you're refusing to accept it because it's too emotional for you.
I agree with that.
I am talking about 63 countries on earth. 14 makes ECOWAS. And just by accident, not even one, you have to see it on Instagram? And you still think that I'm saying something stupid. But why do you think you should have that capability? Let me ask you. You've traveled quite wide. Have you seen any car made in Saudi Arabia? No. Have you seen any electronics made in Saudi Arabia? No. Okay. Have you seen any internet service or product made in Saudi Arabia?
I haven't seen that.
Okay. Either. You call the Saudi Arabia third world country? No. But they are full of infrastructure. It's working. How did they do it?
Okay, but like, so are you? I can't answer that question, but I'm posing another question.
Sure.
Are you saying that they have that capability?
They don't have it.
So okay, the difference.
So what would the fish do to get the fruits? The fish would employ the skills of the monkey and say, bring it down, you get 10%, I get 90%. The problem is you're trying to do it yourself. Because you look outside and you think, others can do it, we can do it. It's not true. I lived in Kenya for 5 years, straight 5 years. I live on a compound of about 2.5 acres of land, trees everywhere. For 5 years, the trees, the leaves never fell. Winter never came. Spring never came. My wardrobe was the same wardrobe, okay? Cotton shirt. By 11 a.m., I'm on the compound. Africa is the only tropical continent on earth. Have you seen any country that is industrialized and is tropical? No. Have you seen any country that have 4 seasons and looks like Sudan or Saleko? No. Okay. Do you see where I'm going? The only thing we didn't have and don't have is natural threat. Africa never suffered it. It's the most comfortable environment ever. You don't have to draw the water and store it because it never freezes.
I see.
But if you are born in a place like here, every 3 months, your brain is worried. So not because they're smart, it's just you have typhoon, hurricanes, tsunamis, tectonic plate shakes, earthquakes, winter up to here, killing people, springs, hardcore fall. What do you have? Owambe. Nothing ever threatens. And when that happens, over millions of years, the brain doesn't even predict. No. Africa is predictable.
So we just stay comfortable?
That's correct.
Okay. So do you think that's an issue, like, with us, like, I'm not saying just for Nigeria, but, like, some African countries where, like, it's comfortable in our own, like, space thinking?
Yes. People want what we got, but you're saying,
Wow. I learned a lot.
I'm not developed. The only time that you became this and people can point fingers is because, like you two said, the only time I knew my country was not developed is when I came to the Western world. But you're not a Western world. No wonder our people bleach, because they think if they become white enough, they can change their environment. And with that,
Brilliant, man. This dude is smart as hell. Let's check some comments here. Franck Zanu is operating in a different frequency. The kids are not there yet. Abundant resources don't mean anything if you don't know how to utilize them. Exploit them. Exploit them for lack of a better word. I remember trying to explain to my American friends that Africans don't see themselves as black or African, but as Igbo or Zulu or Yoruba. This is the root of the problem. Root cause, no harsh winters. That will never change. Yeah. Okay. So they never had that like natural threat to kind of like kick them in the ass and start doing something. They're just kind of chilled in the grass, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, boys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So, yeah, I catch you boys on the next one. Take care of yourself.